My mom and my sister are my audience. Okay. This time last year, I didn't even see myself alive in 2020. Growing up, I wasn't neglected, I was never abused, I didn't go through any type of traumatic experience, but something was off. I had a strange fascination with death. I was always curious about the sad parts of life. I felt things more strongly than others. I was just wired different. But the main feeling was guilt. How could I have so much but still be so sad? Was I being overdramatic? Did I just want attention? Fast forward a few years, I learned that I really was just wired differently. Someone could have $1 million mansion, thousands of friends, but none of that matters without a healthy and stable mindset. I think I truly learned this lesson about a year ago. I was in school for nursing at LaSalle, making new friends, had a supportive family, but something still wasn't right in my head. Every day was a constant internal struggle, and it would be never ending if I didn't take the next step to get help I need. Thankfully, though, I had the right resources around me and I had a support system. I voluntarily checked myself into a psychiatric facility, and when I came out 9 days later, there was a light in me I had no idea existed. But not many people are as lucky as me. The stigma on mental health is a huge barrier that stops people from getting treatment, finding resources, or even having the right information to know that they have a problem. It allows no space for conversation on this crucial topic. And that's why I'm here today supporting the Child Mind Institute. This institute gives the children of today the opportunity to flourish and grow their minds. After this speech, you'll see that your small actions to help this organization will leave an impact larger than you could ever imagine. So what is a stigma? If you look it up in the dictionary, it'll say a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. Unfortunately, this happens a lot in the world of mental health. Someone struggling with depression may get called attention-seeking. A schizophrenic may get called crazy. This makes people feel ashamed of themselves and they don't want to get help because they're scared. A good example is under-medication in the US. A lot of medicine is essential for youth that are struggling with mental disorders because some can impair their daily functioning, and medication will treat these symptoms so that child can focus on learning new things and new ways to cope. Dr. Sarper Tassikran, a psychiatrist at the Child Mind Institute, discussed under-medication in an article. He wrote that 1% of older children and 2.8% of adolescents receive antidepressant prescriptions, but 5% of teens are diagnosed with depression and 20% anxiety. A lot of people say, but aren't antidepressants linked to suicidal ideation? Yes, that can be a symptom, but there's a way stronger link between untreated depression and completed suicide. So this is where the Child Mind Institute comes in. The research teams there work every day to advance the science of the developing brain and deliver the best clinical care. Their goal is to not only help the people in their own facility, but to transform the lives of children and families that they may never even meet, just worldwide. They have school-based programs, community health initiatives, and hold online seminars for audiences that may just want to know more about mental health and the stigma. The Child Mind Institute states by accelerating discovery, they're leading the way to a better understanding of the developing brain and changing the way the world understands and treats children that struggle with mental health. By empowering families with clear, unbiased information, they're promoting the kind of open, honest dialogue that will help ensure every child gets the opportunity he or she deserves. So why is it important? Why is it important breaking this stigma? Because the stigma literally puts children's lives in danger. Simply opening discussion will do a lot. The main idea is when certain mental disorders are left untreated, the consequences can be dire. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, 70.4% of the youth in the juvenile justice system have a diagnosed mental illness. The stigma can cause kids to feel ashamed, basically, and they start to struggle silently. This builds up frustration inside them, can lead to anger. They don't have the right information on coping with their issues, so they can lash out or get into trouble with the law. About half of students age 14 or older with an untreated mental illness drop out of high school. Depression leads to unmotivated thinking and a fear of failure, so without the right treatment, work's basically impossible. And this is why the Child Mind Institute is committed to making treatment accessible and parent-friendly. Their psychiatrists work with parents to determine when, how long meds should be part of the treatment. Their approach is different than most institutions because they have specialized treatment programs designed specifically for children in certain areas. For example, they have ADHD and Behavioral Disorder Center, an Anxiety Center, Mood Disorder Center, and a center specifically for learning and development skills. There are plenty of ways to give back to this nonprofit. The organization saves lives. Literally anything will help. You can donate. The proceeds will go to groundbreaking research that seeks more effective treatment for children, as well as going to scholarships that they give to struggling families in need of higher quality care. You can participate or give your time. They have short and long-term studies. They're currently doing a community-based research program called the Healthy Brain Network. It involves brain imaging, feedback on cognitive development, and the study of brain development is the most important route to better diagnostic tools and treatment at the center, at the Child Mind Institute. The biggest thing you can do is simply keep the conversation going. Talking about the stigma is how we fight it. Subscribe to the Child Mind Institute newsletters, connect with them on social media, and to stay up to date. Share the information you find on their website with others. You never know, you may show it to someone that really needs a resource and they didn't even know. It's important to remember how many kids are struggling, especially silently. It could be your neighbor, your classmate, your kid's best friend, or your own kid. 90% of all suicides are due to treatable mental health conditions. That's 9 out of 10 people that could have been saved if they were given the right resources. Only 46% of that was diagnosed, so a lot of them may not have even known that they had a problem. So it's important to check on your friends. It's important to check on the children because no one ever wants to feel like they could have done more. Thank you. Any questions?
Has mental health ever affected your schoolwork?
Definitely. Like right now, especially, like depression just makes things hard to do, little things hard to do, and definitely takes a toll on getting things done, and especially on time.
How did you find out about the Child Mind Institute, and where's it located and all that?
I just Googled it, but I knew I definitely wanted to do a nonprofit on mental health, so I was Googling like mental health institutes, and I believe it's in New York.
Okay, never heard of it before.